Hey guys, PBJ here. Um, yeah, we're going to be discussing, well, you know what I'm going to be discussing. This is crazy. It's getting crazy out there. People are actually believing this lie of genocide, of starvation, even though Israel does everything it possibly can to keep the civilians safe. And no, of course, yeah, whatever. What army phones enemy territory to tell the civilians to get out? They don't know who's Hamas and who isn't. And the Hamas dress like the civilians. No one's got a problem with that. Apparently, that's a-okay. But Israel phones, Israel texts, goes above and beyond what's expected of any army or any Western army to do. Yet we have comedians, that's right, comedians, who have become our new prophets of our time. Now we know we're in trouble. When you've got a guy like Jim Breuer, not to mention others, but we'll focus on him for now because this guy is a real piece of work. He's purely he's an American comedian. He's got quite a big following. He's been around for many years. Does all these and all this shit that he does with his comic. Like, what is he? I think he's in his 50s or he acts like he's fucking 8 years old. This is the kind of schlock comedy you're gonna get. Now, I don't particularly like his comedy, but this is what caught my eye. Listen to this fuckhead talk.
Terrorists in a school. Do we bomb our children? Do we bomb in a school?
Listen.
Do we bomb? Let's say there's terrorists in a school. Do we bomb our children? Do we?
Oh my god. Apparently his audience is also deaf, apparently. This guy's fucking unhinged. Do we bomb our children? Okay, what are you talking about? First, this is an argument that's been used by these people who don't know what's going on in the area. They don't know what's going on. He doesn't know about the policies Israel has put in place to protect civilians. He doesn't mention any of that. He could find out about that between doing and he's shouting and screaming. But that's fine. Jim Breuer can say whatever the fuck he wants. He's a clown. He's a paid clown. These are the people we're getting advice from. Clowns. I'd ask him this. They say, if there's a school and there's school kids and the terrorists decide to go in there, do we bomb the school? Do we bomb our children? First of all, it's not Israel's children, but anyway, let's leave that aside. Let's say the scenario you just laid out, Breuer. Let's say they do go into a school. The terrorists go into a school and are about to fire a missile into Israeli territory aimed at a school of children, a Jewish school. What should the response of Israel be? Should they allow the terrorists to shoot that missile into the school of children and kill them? Or do they knock them out before they fire that missile and unfortunately those kids are killed in collateral damage? What do you do, Jim Breuer? Why don't you give us that scenario? Or any of these fucks? What do you do? Israel's fighting such a... I mean, this isn't Iraq where the Yanks just roll in and fucking blow up every hamlet they fucking see. Because that's how they fight a war. That's why they've never won a war since World War II. Never. And I think there's a little envy there from the Americans. Certainly these type of Americans who have... Look at him. Fuck. God, he's an idiot. That they've never won a war, or they can never win a war because politics gets involved and it's all shut down. So they lose tons of soldiers and for nothing, as they always say, the Vietnam syndrome, as I like to call it. Now, that is what Israel's faced with. Do they take more consideration for their own children and civilians, or do they protect more the Gazan civilians? Gaza, by the way, that invaded Israel on October 7th and murdered countless amounts of people, children, anybody they came across, and beheaded them and did barbaric things to them. But Breuer with the information he has available to him. I mean, he's such a jackass. Okay, carry on. This guy looks like he's really fighting off the demons here with his alcohol abuse or whatever the fuck.
Bomb the kids? How many innocent lives? About 300. How many bad guys? Just 6 of them. Bomb it all! Well, October 7th.
What are you, 8? I used to do that when I was 8 years old. Yes, Breuer. Yes. Of course. October 7th. Everything that's happening in Gaza right now is because of October 7th. You're right. And who's bombing children? This kind of idiotic behavior. Because at first glance, you wouldn't take a guy like this seriously. So, he's got millions and millions of followers, this douchebag. This douchebag has a huge catalogue of followers. He's saying that, why are you bombing the children? First of all, ask yourself this question, Breuer. Why are there only children running around? Where are the fighters? They're cowards. Why don't they fight the Israelis? With allies like this, who needs enemies? Who needs enemies? Talk about David versus Goliath. I mean, you've got a country that was attacked, their citizens murdered, all kinds of barbarity done to them, and you get schlock like this. This fucking asshole comes up with his attempted comedy, okay, which isn't very funny. I can also make funny voices, funny sounds with my voice. I'm not a genius, am I? This fucking clown, okay, he's giving his expert opinion on things he knows nothing about. I will laugh at something if there's a kernel of truth. That's the point. These guys are talking out their assholes. Literally getting propaganda from Hamas. Don't know anything about the area they're commenting on. And I have free speech. The Constitution gives me free speech to go. Okay. But I have free speech to criticize you and make you look like a fucking idiot. But you are. Douchebag. How do you blame Israel? How? If this happened in America, the Americans would demand that their government do it and get back their hostages. Why are you giving a double standard to Israel? What has Israel ever done to Jim Breuer? Okay? And his philosophies on life. How? This jerk-off wouldn't know one side of the gun from the other. He's never been in a war. He's sitting there commenting on this like it's... Dude, you have no fucking clue. No fucking clue. And you're in comedy. I bet you know quite a few Berkowitz and Cohens. And yes, there are a lot of Jews, unfortunately, that have turned their backs on Israel because of it's inconvenient. Grow some fucking balls, you Jews who are not supporting the state of Israel. Grow some fucking balls. Educate yourself. Don't listen to people like this, okay, who have no clue what they're talking about, who trivializes October 7th in his comedy routine, if you could call it that. This douche. I never found him funny. I remember him on Kumia and he was carrying on like a seal. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? This is funny? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, for God's sake, these people.
Hey, what about the hospitals? There's 3 or 4 bad guys in there. Bomb it up!
No hospitals have been bombed. They took out the one hospital they bombed was his Sinwar's brother was at the bottom of it under a tunnel. Oh, I thought they didn't hide under hospitals. Apparently they do. Became his tomb. That hospital's still standing. Bomb it all. What the fuck are you talking about? You know, these Yanks, that's the kind of thing the Yanks do when they fight in a war. They bomb it all. Really, talk about having a plank in your own fucking eye. Remove that before you criticize a country where the army wins wars, unlike you that never wins wars. And I've said it before. Guy says, "Oh, we should stop funding Israel." Okay, first of all, you're not funding Israel. But I think that relationship should dissolve, because the Yanks keep kneecapping Israel before they get victory, because they never get victory anymore, so no one can. Dissolve that relationship. Israel's more than innovative to create their own weapons. They've taken their F-35 that the Yanks built and improved on it. They're sitting with the best F-35 in the world. If this guy with his blue shirt looks like a fucking I don't know what the fuck the blue shirt is, but anyway, cut him loose. Cut him loose. They don't know how to win it. The Americans don't know what victory is anymore. There's too many opinions. Too many cooks spoil the broth. You've got cocksuckers like this running around who know nothing about nothing, talking as if they in this ridiculous voice. They're supposed to make us laugh. The guy's talking utter shit. I might love comedy as much as the next guy, but this, I'm going to pay money to see this douchebag? Really? I could go make sounds in my room the same. But you're not getting Jim Breuer doing it, so okay. Go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. Let's just hear more what this cocksucker has to say.
What kind of sick mentality is that? If my neighbor does horrific things in my home, do I get to...
We're going to use the neighbor analogy like that other idiot, what's his name, Bill Burr, who's now gone, I don't know, his black wife has got him by the nutsack, his orange pube nutsack. You're going to use the neighbor analogy. Let me tell you something, Breuer. If people came in and raped your children, took your children hostage, he would be the first one demanding some kind of action, wouldn't he? Wouldn't he? So why do you put that on Israel? Oh, you're killing children. First of all, no. It's not the policy of Israel to kill children. War is an ugly thing, yes. And it's a war that Israel never asked for, you dummy. With your fucking crew-cut hairstyle, what the fuck? God. And he's got quite a bit of flab under his... Yeah, you're an asshole.
Massacre my entire neighborhood and then decide, you know what? Now I'm going to go to Bonita Springs, and then I'm going to go to Georgia, and then I'm going to convince America that we should fight another country and take that leader out because I said they're bad. It makes you wonder who's running our country.
Oh, ooh. Okay. Who's running your country? You're an angry fucking piece of shit, my friend. And you're not much of a comic either. If that's what's hip in America, geez, like my neighbor. What if my neighbor broke into my house? If literally your neighbor broke into your house and you would shoot him, would you not? Not just a neighbor, the entire family is trying to get into your house. What do you do? And take your kids hostage. What do you do, Jim Breuer? You sit back and go, well, you know, I'm a better person, so, you know. No, of course you would be over there with a fucking axe trying to chop down their door. These people this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And he's a schmuck. An idiot. Unfortunately, we have the internet and these people can get out there and do their stuff. And yeah. Amazing to me. Amazing that a country that was attacked in the most brutal way, their kids murdered, raped. Let me just, okay. I'm going to do something here. You heard what this guy said, okay? He's a clown, okay? He gets paid to be an idiot. Fine. Okay. Well, let's look at this realistically, guys. Let's go to Facebook, because I think we need to see what we're talking about here. I just hope this thing doesn't shut. Come on, don't. No. Oh, you're having trouble with the internet. Come on. No internet. Okay, well, I can't show it to you now. Wait, let me turn it off and then turn it on again. Maybe it'll come back on. No, there's no internet right now. Okay. Well, anyway, well, let's... Oh, I can't actually show it to you because I'm not going to be visible. Forget it. Anyway, yeah, that's Jim Breuer. Okay. There's been a couple of people out there that are saying these ridiculous things, and, you know, I have to say that America is in a very dangerous place right now. There has been something going on that is destroying the minds of these people. This is what happens when you live in a bubble in America. Some of these people don't even know what's outside their own states. This is how... It's ridiculous to think that this guy is giving his opinion on the Middle East. And he's more than welcome to do it. However silly he wants to be, he can do it. It's not funny, but he can do it. Well, I don't find him funny. That's my personal opinion. I find this ridiculous... sound works that he's got going for him. It's annoying, but it's particularly annoying when the guy's lying and talking utter crap that he's probably heard on some podcast or secondhand news. Or these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. When America gets to the point where they are fighting for their survival, it was interesting. A survey was done on the kids, and it said, if America was attacked and invaded, would you fight for your country? Most of these kids said no. Israel's proven what they do. They fight. These guys don't know what it's like to understand what it is to actually fight for your country. I'm not talking about making silly noises and going on shows where you will fight like hell shirts and all this crap. I'm talking about actually fighting for your country. Taking up arms and fighting for your country. Most of your young people said they wouldn't bother. They wouldn't bother. Israel's proven what they do. And they have astounded the world. Even their enemies respect them for the way they've prosecuted this war. There's a lot more respect for Israel. There's envy, there's all kinds of things, and hatred and jealousy. America, you know, they're always going on about, oh, we've got the best army in the world, we've got this, we've got that. And no, you don't. If you compare it to Israel's victories, Israel's by far better army, better disciplined. Not to mention the fact that that they have to. Survival is what's their goal. And these people that you are saying, oh, killing the kids, all this cuck, want to annihilate them. Okay? This is like fucking 5-year-old on the classroom floor shit. I mean, where's this guy coming from? Who is he? What the fuck are you talking about? Who's running our country? Of course he's talking about Israel. Jews are running everything. Okay. Yeah. A usual schlock. Where was the other one? He talked about Charlie Kirk, which I found very interesting. What's this? Look at this cocksucker. Oh, God, he's an idiot. Yeah, here he is. Charlie Kirk exposed. Let's listen to this idiot. Advert.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how
What? Oh, shut the fuck up.
I keep track of all my tasks. I start by
Gives a shit.
everything
Get
I
the
need to
fuck
do.
off my screen.
Charlie Kirk, I have to say, I think he's really smart. I believe
What a hell of a microphone you got there, buddy.
Really play himself.
Ugh.
He's starting to play.
Play what?
He's leaning towards a certain team, which.
This guy's just going for it, isn't he? He's playing towards a certain team. What team are you on, douchebag? With your hairdo, you can land a helicopter on. Who's pushing your buttons? What the fuck kind of a comedy thing is that? He's got this board in the back, one of those school boards. Dude, whose team you're on? That's what I'd like to know. Forget about Charlie Kirk.
Here at home, I don't give a rat's bunny button. I don't know why I said that. It's just
because you're a fucking bad comedian. That's why.
I didn't want to, so, do you have the video of? This is when, in my opinion, Charlie Kirk got exposed.
Listen to this. Now let me set this up for you. Charlie Kirk has been going to campuses, okay? I have my issues with Charlie Kirk too. He's not done enough to call out his own side. In fact, he's platformed them, okay, at his Turning Point USA. So I think he could do a hell of a lot more. But he's been on campuses, and I think most of the questions are about Israel and American-Israel relationship. And this guy that comes to talk to him blames the Jews for everything. He caught his dick in his fly. The Jews did it. That kind of mentality. This is who Jim Breuer says exposed Charlie Kirk. Now let's listen to this guy. This is what this moron is using as evidence of exposure of Charlie Kirk. Okay, let's see.
And, yeah, go ahead, play this video.
That the Jews run the American government.
That's not a secret, Charlie.
Well, no, I find it hilarious that all Trump's cabinet is Jewish. Israel did 9/11, Charlie.
Israel did 9/11, Charlie.
Why are we in the middle? Sir, why?
9/11. Israel did 9/11. You give Israel way too much credit, my friend. In a way, I'm kind of like proud that, wow, these people really think we're like running everything. You can't have a bowel movement without Israel saying you can. I mean, it's the toilets made by it. I mean, these people are insane. It's dangerous, though. This guy, and yes, you know, nothing says a serious person like, I'm going to look like let me have the Amish look. This, all these fucking anti-Semites, they all look the same. They got the beard and the short hair. Kind of like what our Afrikaners get up to here. That kind of look. Looks like a fucking guy who sits in his parents' basement all day and finds conspiracy theories. The Yanks are obsessed with conspiracy theories. Way too much. There has to be something else. It's not just the fact that Muslims, a terrorist organization, said we want to bring down the most evil empire, the West. And by doing that, take out their building. No. They put bombs in there. And the Jews were told not to go to work. That's a lie, by the way. And they were dancing Israelis. They were having a party, and they just happened to be dancing, and suddenly now they brought down the two towers, 9/11. I mean, it's ridiculous. Not to mention the fact that why would Israel do that? What is the purpose? They want to get us into the Middle East. How many, I'm asking now serious questions now. How many U.S. Marines have been killed in Gaza? It's a rhetorical question. There's no one sitting here with me. But anyway, this is what I'd like to ask Beaver Hunt over here. How many U.S. Marines have died in Gaza? How many U.S. Marines have died in Lebanon? How many U.S. Marines have died in Iran? Or any war that Israel's fought? I can give you the answer. 0. Oh, but they got us into Iraq. Yeah, no one got you into Iraq. You got yourselves into Iraq. You got yourselves into Iraq. On faulty information. Oh, wow, America also goes on faulty information. And why you want to defend a guy like Saddam Hussein? The guy was a scumbag. Those people he tortured, he was a vicious character. I'm not saying that it's justified what the Americans did in Iraq. I've never condemned the Americans for going into Iraq. I don't know the reasons. I don't have classified information. I'm not a Yank. But I'm asking serious questions here. You want to blame the Jews for everything wrong in your life. Everything wrong. The Jews did 9/11, Charlie. Really? Okay, let's listen more of you.
I served. Why were we in the Middle East? Well, I mean, why were we in the Middle East? You can reject involvement in the Middle East without also believing Israel did 9/11. So if Israel did 9/11, help me understand this. Who were the hijackers of the planes?
Oh my God, Charlie. Charlie.
What? Who were the hijackers of the planes? Breuer? Fucking Orthodox Jews? Oh no, they were paid by Israel, of course. Osama bin Laden, this is another one. Osama bin Laden was on the payroll of Israel, apparently. This is how insane this gets. These people, and why the Jews? I don't understand. A country the size of New Jersey, the only Jewish state in the world, is responsible for all the world's evils. They're controlling the American government. They're controlling the money. They're controlling this. They're controlling. Never rests with you, America. Never rests with these douchebags. I served. I said, yo, well, no one forced you, or I suppose Israel forced you to serve as well. You know, Jim Breuer is angry. Oh, they're probably, they're responsible for Jim Breuer not being funny, or whatever the case may be. The fact of the matter is, find someone to blame, and it is always the Jews. Why is that? Israel, every war Israel's been engaged in has not been initiated by them. It has always been by their enemies. And Israel's always fought defensive wars. And why in God's green earth would Israel want to get America to go into Iraq? To make the region more unstable. Yes, you fucked that country up and you didn't do a good job putting it back together. Yes. Why would Israel want that? You now got terrorist organizations sponsored by Iran in Iraq that were firing at Israel. Why would Israel... Well, they're playing 4D chess, Their left hand doesn't know what their right hand's doing. And Jim Breuer knows with his comical... Yeah, why are we listening to this douchebag? Why are we even taking this guy seriously? Go do comedy. That's what you do. Don't try and do political commentary. It's insulting to my intelligence. Really. Why? Why would Israel want a disabled Middle East? They're the ones living right in the center of it. Of course they want peace. When you talk about, Israel doesn't want peace. When Trump brought the Abraham Accords, what happened? Netanyahu was right there, embraced them and said, yes, we want peace with you. Not, No, he embraced it. The Israeli people embraced it. For God's sake, they dragged their own people out of Gaza, uprooted the bodies, and took them back into Israel proper for peace. And what did they get? What did they get? Murdered grandmothers, raped women, dead Nova people at the Nova party, dead, murdered in cold blood. No. These people are stupid. This fucking guy, okay? Israel did 9/11, Charlie. I served. Why do I... You know what? Go serve your fucking ass, you cocksucker. You and your fucking country have not won a war since World War II. You have not won one. And by the way, you talk about, we're giving arms to Israel. Yeah, you gave arms quite happily to the Taliban. Yeah, you just upped and left. Literally people falling off the planes, holding onto the planes. That's how you get out of a country, Yanks. You have the fucking cheek to point your finger at Israel. God damn it. They left all their fucking military hardware there for these fucking, these goat herders. It's ridiculous. It's unfucking believable. Hey, look, Israel's good at fighting wars. Just because you're not doesn't mean they're controlling everything, you dullard. Anyway, let's get back to... I don't know, Charlie, you got a really weird haircut.
Who were the hijackers? Listen, I had this conversation with...
Oh, God.
With really close friends of mine. And this is...
As dumb as you are.
What you see on TV...
Oh, God.
Can be so traumatizing. And then the assault that happens after completely blinds you and emotionally gets you... I'm sorry.
Kind of like what you're doing now. Are you getting a little emotional about this, aren't you, bro? You want to blame Israel for your 9/11? And by the way, they blame October 7th on Israel too. I mean, Israel can never be attacked. I mean, no, they killed their own people because they wanted Gaza, or they wanted to bring America in. The Israelis never asked the Americans to do anything. I said it before and I'll say it again. If we need a floating pier, we'll give you a call. Or if we need aid dropped on Palestinians, we'll give you a call. And when I say dropped on them, literally crushed them. And by the way, you talk about Israel not taking responsibility. The Yanks still have not taken responsibility for that. They blamed Jordan. Jordan blamed America. And then they blamed the Spanish or some other idiots that were flying. They literally dropped aid. They crushed Palestinians, Gazans, with the aid they were sending them. How fucking... That's a joke. The very aid that they were sending them crushes and kills them. And they're not even at war with Gaza. That's funny, Jim Breuer. This notion that somehow... This guy, oh, the hijackers, yes, the hijackers. Who were they? Muslim extremists, Muslim terrorists. Is that so hard to believe? No, it's something else. I mean, it's interesting. This whole JFK thing, for years, there's been theories about who killed him and what did it... Turns out, yes, it was Lee Harvey Oswald. Shot him. Releases the files. That's what it says. No, there's got to be more. There's got to be more. A disgruntled, I think he was an ex-Marine or whatever, shot him. First of all, what was he riding around in a car with no roof? This is a president. No, there's more. The Jews did it. Mossad was involved because, you know, he wanted the AIPAC to register under this, which is ridiculous because AIPAC is actually an American organization, American Jews. They're not foreign. They're from America, and they lobby the government on behalf they lobby and support Congress people that support Israel. What's wrong with that? And just because they don't line up with you politically doesn't mean that they're evil. Stephen Crowder. Oh, this guy, he's got a fucking nose like he looks like he's been carried around as a six-pack when he was 9 years old. Lose the shirt too, bro. Well, anyway, I don't expect a guy like this to have fashion sense. But this is the kind of bullshit when you have non-serious people commenting on serious stuff. I don't mind you doing it in a comical setting. Yes, we need comedy. But your comedy's got to be rooted in reality. Do you think Israel just brought down the Twin Towers? Do you really believe that? Do you really believe? They've got a memorial to 9/11. As far as I know, they don't have a memorial to October 7th in America. And I do blame some of the Jews. This whole thing, the Holocaust, and it's horrible because it's been used so much. And now, these people say, I'm so sick of hearing about the Holocaust. The Holocaust, this Holocaust. Okay, fine. And now they're saying, oh, they're responsible. They were responsible for they paid the Germans to kill them, apparently. This is how nutty it gets, guys. This is how nutty it gets, but it's explicitly dangerous. And when you have a guy like this that's sitting in his, I don't know what it is, it's his wine glasses, looks like he's in the back of a restaurant or something. You've got this moron giving his 50 cents worth and attacking people who he perceives it sounds like he thinks Israel's controlling their government. It sounds like he thinks Israel brought down the towers of 9/11. He probably thinks Israel killed Kennedy. The list goes on and on and on and on. Okay. But it doesn't add up. And like I said, no American troops have been killed in any of these wars that Israel's been involved in. Israel has said that you asked us to bomb Iran. Yeah, okay. First of all, I don't think they begged America to bomb Iran. They said it would help to take out these sites. And we've done all the legwork. Israel done all the legwork. They've taken out their generals. They've taken out their weapons depots. They had no air defense. Israel had done all of it with not one soldier on the ground. They had Mossad agents that had infiltrated Iran for years, and they were prepared for this day. All the Yanks did was fly from some base in America, drop the bombs, and off they went. Unmolested. That's all they did. Now Israel has to say, a brilliant operation by the Americans. They have to pay lip service to Trump's ego. But it's not an incredible mission that they flew. What was incredible was the way Israel just took out all of their leadership. Literally conned their generals into meeting and then killed them in that place. Took out them while they were sleeping in their apartments. That's incredible. Literally built drones and fired them at weapons depots, took him out. An incredible operation. That's what the Israelis contributed. The Americans just flew there and dropped the bombs. And thank you very much. It's not World War III, okay? And not one American has died in Iran. It's ridiculous. It takes a warped mind. Because you can't imagine that something happened because these people hate you for your way of life. They say it all the time. They say it all, but let's bring more of them in. Let's let them establish communities. What? I don't know, bro. Anyway, carry on, Breuer.
For 1 second that a bunch of I'm sorry. This is your brain.
And a bunch of what?
And this is your brain when you're in the zone. But get it.
And I got news for you. When Charlie said this, the youth of America is not stupid.
No, they are stupid.
You hear the crowd, they silenced Charlie.
They are stupid. And they're even getting more stupid listening to you. The youth of America are stupid. I'm sorry. They are stupid people. I fear for your country, sir. I fear for your country. What are your kids doing? Coming up and accusing another country, a country that is an ally, of doing all these nefarious things. What are the Israeli kids doing? They're fighting for their country. They're taking out Hamas. They're taking out Hezbollah. In strategic operations, and in Gaza, whether or not you agree with it, they are taking them out strategically. They are taking out the evil leadership in Iran, where the Ayatollah literally was hiding in a hole. That's what they're doing. That's what Israel is doing. And not to mention another thing, during this war, they were about to do the first spine transplant or something, some incredible medical feat during wartime On 7 fronts. That's incredible. Not this. Accusing Israel of all your ills. Because you're an unhappy little pack of little crotch rot. That's what you're doing. You should be fucking embarrassed. You should be fucking embarrassed. There are Israeli soldiers laying down their lives for their country right now as we speak. And these little fat, these little whiners, what are they doing? Apart from blaming Israel for all your troubles. God, people fucking annoy me. Cocksucker.
Kirk, when he said, okay, well, who hijacked the plane? Listen, I know a lot of you, this is a very touchy subject, but sometimes you have to face a subject instead of believing what the narrative tells you.
Yeah, you're going to face the facts that you were attacked by a terrorist organization. Just because you failed in Afghanistan, just because you failed in Iraq, does not mean that does not mean that the Muslims did not attack you on 9/11. They did. They did. Why can't you accept that? Why would you think, what are you saying? That the Jews did it? Is that what you're saying? The Jews attacked you on 9/11 because of some youngsters who had come to your country to visit and were enjoying themselves at a party. They were dancing, and suddenly now they're dancing because the towers are coming. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then, by the way, the FBI arrested them, detained them, and they found nothing, and they deported them back to Israel. These guys just came to your country to visit, and now they're Mossad agents on a mission. And first of all, the Mossad wouldn't be that stupid. I don't know about the CIA; they'd probably do that, but the Mossad would never show themselves at the site. Think about it. You're talking about a agency that took out Hezbollah terrorists with pagers and then radios. Sold it to these guys. You're telling me they'd let their guard down like that in a country that they're friends with, supposedly, and are taking down one of their biggest financial buildings? You believe that, sir? It sounds to me like projection. It sounds to me like there's a hatred for Jews and you want to blame it all on them. It had nothing to do with the Americans. Oh no, the Americans weren't. And yes, Osama bin Laden said it was because of the support of Israel. But what are you going to now make friends with these people? They hate you as much as they hate Israel. They do. They say it every day. But I believe that it is true. I think that they hate Israel so much, and anyone who supports them. For God's sakes, you've got Tucker Carlson now saying that Sharia law isn't that bad. I'm serious. I'm serious. He had on a guy and he said, Sharia law isn't that bad. Wow. And some kids playing outside. Fortunately, I haven't soundproofed this room. Anyway, shame. Poor kids. Don't make me bomb you. I'm Jewish. Kids make a noise, I bomb them. Yeah, anyway. Let's get back to Sergeant Woodcock over here.
Over and over and over again. Okay? Let's go with the theory. I'm just gonna ask questions.
Oh God, no, don't do that.
Let's go with the theory that
you're an asshole.
Muslims learned how to fly a plane. Okay? They're from the desert. They were from where.
Oh, for God's sake! Really? This passes as comedy now. There are Muslims that can fly a plane. They have airports in their countries, do they not? Qatar Airways, have you ever heard of that, you douche? What kind of stupid? Let's just carry on with him and see what he has to say.
Where they say they were from? Osama bin Laden, wherever he was from. So
he doesn't even know where he's from.
Islamists, or whatever they labeled them out, for 5 years they learned how to fly a plane. Okay. Let's say they want to make not one of them. Not one.
Is he drunk or something?
You know, I kind of like watching baseball. And
that's what they thought. Baseball's going to win them over. Have you ever been to a baseball game? It's kind of like a cricket game. You don't fall in love with the country. This is so ridiculous analysis by this guy. Who's listening to this guy? Is people actually listening to him and taking him seriously? You had an infiltration of terrorists in your country. They decided the best way to there were three targets: the White House, the Pentagon, and the Twin Towers. Symbolic, too, as well as whatever. But, yes. What an insult to the people who died on those planes. It's incredible to me. You don't even have the fucking... You want to blame Israel for it. That's what he's saying. For what reason? We haven't quite figured out yet. To get them into Iraq for some reason. I don't know why. Why would Israel want you to invade Iraq? Why would Israel want you to invade? They say Israel's responsible for Libya too. Not the governments involved. No. The puppet masters in Jerusalem, they gave the go ahead. This is a country the size of New Jersey. Okay, it's the size of fucking New Jersey. Yes, Jews are influential. Yes, there are a lot of famous Jews out there with lots of money. I get it. But because they want to reshape the world in their image, apparently. Not the Islamists. Because they say it every time they're in the fucking mosque. They don't want to they don't want to destroy the West, of course not. The infidel. No. Don't look at them. The towelheads, no, they would never. It's the Jews. Israel. They're the ones. The yarmulke wearing, the guy going to shul. He's going to meet his cabal there. Has the world gone insane? Why are you blaming Israel for your fucking 9/11, dude? Why? There's no conspiracy here. The building was owned by a Jew. There were Jews who worked in the fucking building. Oh, but they told them not to come to work that day. Do you think if... let's just lay this out. By the way, where's Rabinovitz? Oh, no, he was told not to come to work today. Oh, well, where's Cohen? Oh, no, he was also told not to come to work today. Where's Goldberg? Oh, he was also told not to come to work today. You see a pattern here? You're going to say, why are all people with the Jewish surnames not coming into the Twin Towers today? There's a pattern? Yeah? Yeah. Okay. By the way, there were Jews in the towers that got killed. Yeah, that's the argument of these people. You say this to them and they're like, no, but I mean, of course. No, Muslims literally going like this under the neck and shouting down with America and all this other... No, they are not interested in bringing down America. No, come on. They're paid by the Zionists. I'd have more respect for this bloated fucking wine sack, and he looks like he's a drinker. He looks like he hasn't slept in 50 years. This cocksucker, if he would just come out and say, I hate Jews. I hate Jews. I think they're horrible people. I don't like Israel. I would have more respect for you, sir, if you just not say, oh, but this, and, oh, they did 9/11, Charlie. I served. Yeah, what did you do, bro? What did you fucking do? I'll tell you what the Israelis are doing. They're fighting for their country. What are you doing? Signing on with the enemy, not just of Israel. You fucking retards. Retards. My sister lives in America. She lives in, where is it? Louisiana. No, not Louisiana, in Missouri. In St. Louis. They seem like lovely people. Got way too much sugar in that country. No wonder why we get people like this. Jim Breuers are fucking going insane. They literally cover everything in sugar, the Yanks. Anyway. It can't be black and white. No, it's something else. And it has Jew in it. Guys. This is getting to be serious. Jokes aside. There have been synagogues burnt. 2 Jews have been gunned down in the streets. Holocaust deniers have been set on fire. You don't think this rhetoric is playing a part? You're totally cut off from reality, thinking my words are not affecting these people's decisions. When you say genocide, like I talked about that other moron from Scotland, you're saying something that is categorically false by every metric. And I'll tell you why it's false. Because the fucking Irish, the mix, and the fucking the Daegos in Spain, they wanted to recreate the word genocide so it would incorporate what's going on in Gaza, meaning that any defensive war is a genocide. They're prepared to change the definition of the word genocide so they can get at Israel. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. This is the time, guys, and I'm not just talking about Jews, I'm talking about everybody who has a moral soul. Stand up to this shit. Because the enemies are not quite about what they want to do. Jim Breuer is a comedian, apparently. An idiotic comedian. But you can't... Take some responsibility for your own fucking problems. Not everything is connected to Israel. I suspect Israel's sensing fentanyl over the border. I'm sure Tucker Carlson will be coming out with that next week. The man is unhinged. He's full of hatred. And he's going down. It never ends well for anti-Semites. They always end rock bottom. Always. Oh, carry on. I can't take it.
Oh, kind of like you. And since I'm able to fly, I mean, why not go home and learn to fly a commercial jet?
But they did. Oh, that's the theory. Yeah, that's the serious theory. They did learn how to fly a plane. If that's your theory, look, I understand he's a tempting comedy, but it's not funny. I mean, what? Is it possible that these people are so determined to destroy America? You think you're going to win them over with your baseball games and your fucking strip clubs, and which they visited, by the way. And they say, oh, well, they went to strip clubs. Yo, we're talking about Muslims here. They're also into anal sex. You have any idea how much fucking sodomy is in the Muslim religion? The Ottomans did it on a whim. When they captured new people, they take the little boys and fuck them in the ass. The Ottomans, yes. They just don't like Westerners doing it. They sodomized people on 9/11, on October 7th. They raped men. They'll do anything. Moral people. Of course they went to a strip club. Forget about this. They cover their women in the fucking black sheets and stuff. Yeah, whatever. To cover all the bruises. Okay? They're not moral people. And they believe in jihad. Yes. They believe they want to overthrow. They want to destroy America. Anyway, carry on.
And then
That microphone's way too
after
big.
that horrible event, they find in the midst of all the rubble the passports.
Okay.
In plain sight. Hey, we found it! This is like if this was in a movie, you'd say this is the dumbest movie. If I was the executive, I went, dude, come on, is this a comedy?
Yeah, and I would say this is the dumbest commentary I've ever heard, and that's going a long way. He's up against some pretty stiff competition. First of all, yeah, they found it, okay, but how's that, what's that got to do with Israel? And I'm sorry, if that's the case, and someone orchestrated it, it's definitely not Mossad, because they would have done a much better job. There's more at risk for Israel than ever. Going and destroying your allies, your only biggest ally, destroying their buildings and stuff like that. I think they would have done a more thorough job, don't you? I mean, we're dealing with an organization, like I said, have done incredible. The people, it's almost legend with the Mossad. They're legendary. They are respected by every intelligent. You think they would do a sloppy job like this? That Jim Breuer would sniff them out? Really? Come on, guys. Come on. This guy's got a mic. He literally, the microphone he's using is so big it's covering his face. It's ridiculous. Carry on. Let's hear some more enlightenment from our comedian here.
This is sick. You got to rewrite this part.
Yeah, it's sick.
Let's go with that. Here's where people don't use just your own thinking.
What?
The buildings went straight down. Everyone knows that.
Oh my God.
Demolition. And what's the excuse that everyone says? Well, it's because it was so hot.
What?
Think about that. It was so hot that the
Oh
beams just
my
melted.
God.
So let me ask you this. Before they collapsed and the fire was so hot that it melted steel, what were the human beings doing 5-10 feet above them in the walls, waving scarves for their lives? How are they not burnt?
What are you talking about?
So it only, the heat rises. Common sense would tell you heat rises.
Common sense.
But
Okay.
this heat melted downward, and they just. But the people on top.
What?
Help!
What?
Help!
I wish you were in those towers, you
They're able to
fucking
get away
douche.
with that 5 billion degrees that's burning steel.
What?
And think about this. You trust our government?
Oh God. Trust our government. Of course, we don't trust anything. I mean, they flew planes into the goddamn fucking Twin Towers with the fuel. Yes? A demolition. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick and tired of this stuff. You know, is it not possible that a terrorist organization, and ask yourself this, why would Israel, if Israel did this, why would they want to do the White House, potentially kill the President of the United States? Why would they want to take up the Pentagon? Why? Why not just do 9/11? Why not just do the towers? That's enough to get. One is enough. But they chose 3. Because they really wanted to hit it home. And then they got their guys dancing on the roofs of the. if you take that seriously, then you are I don't know. I can't help you. I can't help you. It's ridiculous. Everyone's always looking for. It's not. I guarantee. They released the Epstein files, and it was like, oh, I'm waiting with bated breath to see who these people. And it comes out, no, he wasn't. Everything that was known in the files, and they're like, there's got to be more. There's got to be more. Okay, the guy killed himself. No, he didn't kill himself. No, he was taken out because there's names of it. What if now supposedly Epstein? I'm sorry, I'm going off topic here, but Epstein's also part of this whole thing. A Mossad agent, according to Tucker Carlson. No, he wasn't. According to his lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, he wasn't a Mossad agent, and Alan Dershowitz would have known. But he's Jewish, of course. They all work together. If Epstein had all this blackmail and stuff on these people, don't you think they would have taken him out earlier? Think about it. They waited until he was arrested, put in prison, and then they take him out. If this guy was blackmailing people, he would have been killed. They would have taken him out. Why only? Oh no, he was going to testify. He had this over these people, according to what these conspiracy theories, he had this over people. And if they didn't do what he wanted, he would release the names or whatever. You're telling me that these powerful people would have not said, let's just take this guy out, kill him. No one's going to care. A billionaire gets killed. No, will they wait till he's in prison to take him out? His sidekick Maxwell, she's in prison, but she hasn't been taken out. She's, I suspect, had access to the same information. Maybe he didn't kill himself. I don't know. But what has that got to do with Israel? Is my point. Maybe it just sounds very stupid to me. It certainly doesn't sound like a Mossad operation. There's way too much fuck up. This sounds more like a CIA operation, or a what is it, MI5 or MI6 or whatever the hell they call it. One of these crappy countries, Russia. But you wait till the guy's in prison, monitored with videos, to kill him. If I were an assassin, I would say, let's kill him now, before they get him. Oh, they didn't know he was going to be. Come on. It makes no sense. It's clear the guy killed himself. Okay? And it's not important. Why is it important? What can you gain from this? It's the same with these other conspiracy theories. These guys are hunting high on it because they need something to fill their lives. Their lives aren't interesting enough, and it pays to be an anti-Semite. How many clicks is this guy getting for this ridiculous monologue he's doing here with his microphone? It looks like he's a 1950s fucking broadcaster. I like conspiracy as much as the next guy, but when you start, I mean, you're feeding yourself on this garbage, and there are actual consequences, because there are nutbags out there that just sit and take this in. Then you wonder why people are getting gunned down in the streets. This is dangerous. Never in the history of the world has information been so available to the populace. Never. And are there nefarious things going? Do governments do shady things? Yeah. They do. Insider trading. Yeah, they take advantage of the system. Yes, politicians will be politicians. And yes, they should be called out for it. But to go on this rant of this cabal of Jews out there organizing everything, they're behind the scenes, is ridiculous. Are they bad Jews? Of course. Are they Jews that hate America? Yeah, I'm sure they are. I'm sure there are Israelis that don't like America. But it makes no sense. America, you've got way too much people, the prince and the pauper. You've got any clown gets hold of a microphone now, he's an expert. Comedians are now experts on the Middle East. Joe Rogan is now the arbiter of truth. I'm sorry, but this is... I'm not a fan of mainstream media. I think the mainstream media has abused their position, and as a result, this is what we're getting now. We're getting every fucking lunatic with a microphone running around saying all these crazy things. The media has abused their position. I'll be the first to admit it. And it was refreshing to have different opinions. But this is getting out of hand. When you're bringing on people that are seriously psychologically unstable, and their whole lives is based on conspiracies and this and the Jews and the... It's like it's opened a hornet's nest, and there are consequences. People have been murdered. Synagogues have been burnt down. Let me just finish with this douche.
A plane was hijacked?
Yes. Plane.
Boston? That's a solid 1-hour ride to New York.
What's your point?
Solid 1-hour ride. Solid. Unless you're in some psycho Learjet. I lived in Chester, New Jersey. When Trump was in town, if a plane went up, there were Learjets there. They were seconds. You have Air Force bases in Jersey.
Well, what is your point?
You have Air Force. Did our military were they sleeping?
What's your
point?
point?
I'm not attacking military. I'm asking you, do you not think about these things? We allowed a plane to get hijacked. As Charlie said, who are the hijackers? Who were the hijackers?
Planes get hijacked. What is your point? And what? Were they sleeping? I mean, what the fuck is this guy on? Really? Yes, they were hijacked. The security before 9/11 wasn't as good as... I mean, they checked, but these guys didn't have any weapons. They had box cutters, apparently. Oh, box cutters. Yeah, you could do some damage with that. You could. And they took control of the plane. They're hijackers. Are you saying that the people on the plane were part of it as well? What? Is that what you're saying? Let's hear more of what this guy says, please. You have to.
Charlie.
It's like a bad. It's like a.
Rat's bunny button.
It's like a bad movie, but you want to see what happens.
It's in town if a
Work today is broken.
Sorry.
We're all working in too many disconnected apps, and it's killing team productivity.
A plane went up. There were did our military were they sleeping? And I'm not attacking military. I'm asking you, do you not...
Sounds to me like you are.
We allowed a plane to get hijacked.
Yes.
As Charlie said, who are the hijackers? Who were the hijackers, Charlie?
Yeah, who were they?
Where'd you get that information? From this?
Who were the
people that paying you and funding you to speak.
Oh, who's paying you and funding you to speak? That's what we call, ladies and gentlemen, a tell. It's clear who's talking about you. He's saying Israel's paying Charlie Kirk to lie. Who were the hijackers, Charlie? They were Muslims. Yes. And I hate to break it to you, in this world, we do have planes getting hijacked. What's your point? What's your point? Everything has to be conspiracy. Charlie Kirk's been paid by Israel. Of course he is. Yeah. Yeah. You get to a point where you're like, okay, dude, are you serious? The people are paying you to say that. Yeah, Israel's paying Charlie Kirk to go sit on campuses and argue about abortion. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Mr. fucking... Oh, God, he's an idiot. Yeah, you know who cut this guy's hair, but this guy looks like a fucking... Like a white supremacist Nazi. I'm not saying he is. I'm just asking questions. No, he's not a Nazi. But I mean, he looks like someone who would frequent an Aryan bar. Okay? This is utter horseshit. And people watch this and laugh. And he's got people laughing in the background. It sounds about like two, maybe it's his wife and kids laughing there. But I mean, really. And no amount of funny voices and stupid faces is going to change the fact. The planes were hijacked by terrorists, yes. Not by Israel. So. And what you're saying is fucking dangerous.
Because you talk about Israel a lot. You talk about Israel a lot, Charlie.
Yeah. No.
So you do it right in front of...
He's been asked about Israel a lot by lunatics that follow your shit. Blaming Israel for everything wrong in America. Claiming they killed Kennedy. Claiming they brought down the towers on 9/11. You talk about Israel a lot, Charlie. He's asked questions and he answers. He's even said, can we get on something else now? Because all we're talking about is Israel. I want to talk about things in the United States. This guy is such an idiot. What a douchebag. What a fucking douchebag. This is comedy in 2025. We're getting on the fucking... oh, God. Yeah. You're a fucking piece of shit, Jim Breuer. And you're in comedy. You have a lot to thank the Jews for in comedy, sir. Alright? Oh, I'm talking about Israel. Yeah, the only Jewish state, the plurality of the world's Jews live. That's the country you choose to say they're the ones behind all this. You're getting paid by Israel. You talk about Israel a lot. When he's asked questions continuously by these nutbags. And he's even said, I don't want to talk, let's talk about something else. Conveniently left out, well, I don't even think he knew, but... I mean, come on. Look who we're dealing with here. I mean, it's Jim Breuer.
My own face. Which is fine. But we're going to pay you and funding you to speak. Because you talk about Israel a lot. Talk about Israel a lot, Charlie.
So does Tucker Carlson?
You do it right in front of my own face. Which is fine. But we're going to get to that.
Oh, there's more?
Now, let's say the motive for these crazy, psychotic Muslims was to, what was it? They hate our freedom. Well, I have a simple question. They hate your freedom so much.
Simple question?
That they were able to mastermind. They don't even have a military. But they were able to mastermind.
What the fuck?
Getting planes, hijacking, with America not showing up to help their citizens.
Hang on a second. They don't even have a military. They're terrorists, you cocksucker. They're terrorists. They're Al-Qaeda. Have you heard of that? Oh, no, that's made up by Israel. You've got You've got a guy like Rick Wiles, this fucking Christian. There's nothing Christian about him. Claims that Israel created ISIS. That was Israel. This is how nutty these people are. Really. He can't fathom how a bunch of Muslims, psychotic Muslims, hijacked a plane, flew into the Twin Towers. They have no military. Well, they're a terrorist organization, sir. What are you talking about, you idiot? You're really, has it come to this, guys? This is what we've got. We've got an unhinged comedian, okay, clearly abuses alcohol way too much, has affected him. In his fucking, in this restaurant, looks like a mob hit's about to take place. This fucking asshole is blaming Israel for everything. You're being paid by the Jews. You talk about Israel a lot when he's asked questions. This is, you talk about decline of America. These are the people. I mean, Israel's doing spine breaking medical grounds right now in the midst of a war, a 7-front war. What is this asshole doing with his big fucking microphone? Saying that this 9/11 thing was a conspiracy and the Jews were behind it, while they're busy creating life-saving medicines to help this guy get through the day. I ask you. No, they orchestrated 9/11. The people that feed intelligence, the people that keep this sorry ass motherfucker with his terrible blue shirt safe from terrorist attacks because of the information that gets shared with the United States. All these people, they orchestrated this because they wanted to get us into Iraq. You got to be fucking kidding me. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Because they want to, the Greater Israel Project, that's another talking point of these people like Cenk Uygur and all these ridiculous young Turks, the brain dead fucking, they want to Greater Israel. Hang on a second. In 1948, Israel was prepared to take a smaller portion of what is currently today Israel, just to have a state. They would have accepted that. And they were attacked. And the Arabs said no. And they attacked them. And Israel was victorious. They gave up Gaza for peace. Though they want the Greater Israel Project that goes to the Euphrates or some fucking ridiculous thing like that. To my knowledge, Israel hasn't invaded Jordan. Originally, what they called Palestine, not the Jews, the people that colonized it. It's a colonial name. Remember that the next time they call Israel colonizers. It included Jordan. So it was Israel now, the Israel proper, and then Jordan was also part of the Palestine Mandate. So it would have actually included Jordan, would have been part of Israel. They cut it in half, and they said, you have that Shemite kingdom. Anyone ask, does Jordan have a right to exist? It was created exactly around the same time as Israel. And has less legitimacy than Israel does. Israel's actually got a historic and archaeological record. And by the way, there's no mention of any. There's no Palestinian archaeological record. There's nothing, because it's a name that was made up by the Romans, and they took it in 1964 to claim that there's now a people now. Ridiculous. It's a joke. He's saying that Charlie's been paid by the... Okay, whatever. Okay. Israel's paying Charlie Kirk. Who's paying this fucking son of a bitch? I'd like to know. I get very suspect of people that feel that Israel's to blame for everything. It seems to, I don't know, connect with what these sand monkeys in these countries surrounding Israel keep saying. They had an alliance before. Hitler aligned with the what are the fucking what was his name, that Palestinian or Arab mufti in Jerusalem, aligned with him. God, these people are disgusting. Yeah, you cocksucker.
While George Bush is in a classroom, as they're saying, the kids are repeating the words, hit, steal, plane.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure you guys seen that video.
No, I haven't.
And no planes, even after the second plane hits, still no military.
What?
Are we the greatest strength in the world? Are we? Have we put too much...
What exactly were you expecting the military to do? To shoot down the planes? And by the way, it's not every day that you see a plane fly into a building. Okay? And New York. Have you seen New York? I expect that he's been to New York. He's a comedian. What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? It's insane.
It's trust.
Oh, God, you're nuts, bro.
So it's freedom that they hated?
What?
I don't know about you, but if I'm gonna attack someone, I know that the biggest military in the world has the greatest advanced technology. If I'm gonna take out one of their most important buildings and somehow get away with it because the military was nowhere to be found that day.
I think you get the pictures. Internet's gone off again. Ugh, I don't know. Yeah, well, Israel. Yeah, what is your point? They want to take down the United States. They're a terrorist organization. They do things that are terrorist acts. So that includes hijacking. What are you saying? And if that be the case, why would Israel take on the biggest superpower in the world, their ally, that they have a military agreement with? Why would they jeopardize that over wanting them to go into Iraq? That makes no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense. I mean, this is the argument, guys. I don't know. Call me uninformed, but this guy is talking out his asshole. He really is. And he does it for a living. He's a comedian. But this is the level that that the Americans have stumped to now. This guy's giving commentary, and what is he doing? Blaming Israel for all of it. Who's paying you, Charlie Kirk? You talk about Israel a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Your paymasters in Jerusalem are controlling Charlie Kirk. It's ridiculous. And really, America is like a fucking 5-year-old kid. It really. You have no idea what it's like to fight for your country, like your forebears did. You have no idea. You've been comfortable for way too long, America. You've been comfortable for way too long. Your country has problems. They're not the fault of Israel or the Jews. They're the fault of you and your government and bad decisions by your government. That is a fact. Israel is not controlling your government. And, I mean, it's the argument of all these people. They always, the Zionists are bringing in this and that, but yeah, you know, I think the Zionists, as you like to have, more problems of their own. They've got a 7-front war going on. Okay, I don't think they're worried about the border or trying to sneak in their influence from the border. It's ridiculous. And I'm so tired of having to listen to this schlock of uninformed people. Oh, he's on again. Let me just finish him.
You better have a second wave coming.
What?
Let me tell you something.
Oh, God.
The young generation were huge Charlie Kirk fans. I was a huge Charlie Kirk fan. This moment, I don't know who this kid was. He exposed Charlie and has not been able to get back on his feet. He can't escape this.
What are you talking about?
He cannot escape this.
What?
You can't be that brilliant and go, there were Muslim, and then, come on, man.
What?
You gotta ask some questions here.
Yeah.
You can't just believe everything that's thrown at you.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you are completely fucking insane. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Oh, this guy's an idiot. What a douche. What? Whoa. IT infiltrates all the dark things. What? Who's pulling your strings? Good or evil? Oh my God. He's got a lot to say, this idiot. I'd be so embarrassed if that was my father. Jeez, I would be saying, please, would you stop this? What's this? You're being brainwashed. Nobody's talking about it. Oh, I'm sure Israel will come to that too. Yeah, but I think you get the picture with this guy. I've gone over an hour, so I'm not going to do the second video. But yeah. When you actually go and you analyze, I mean, look, he's a comedian, okay, but he's talking about serious. He's making statements. He's making statements that are flatly false, okay, and he is an idiot, but he does influence people. This moron. And we have to. Truth is always the sunlight is the best disinfectant. Truth will always be paramount in these situations. And I think that at this moment, the right, the woke right, or whatever you want to call them, it's incredible. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I will be dropping this video. Please share it. I'm putting it on my YouTube now, so you can come to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to bring more content there, and it's crazy times we're living in, and I don't know how it's going to end, but if this carries on with this ridiculous stuff that we're hearing, it's not going to look good. Anyway, guys, we'll speak to you later. Bye.